Hello, my name is Logan and I'm your host, the Mighty Pirate. In today's video, I'm going over Power Armor. My sources for today's video are Sarna.net and MechWarrior Guide Lost Tech. In 2703, the first Power Armor would be developed, with weapon engineers tasked with keeping the Terran hegemony safe from potential aggressors by an increasingly paranoid First Lord Jonathan Cameron. Attempting to weaponize industrial exoskeletons approximately 7 centuries after they had first appeared on Terra, the system was intended to increase the survivability of infantry, the preferred units of naval boarding actions, special operations, and stealth reconnaissance. The process was slow and difficult, requiring 20 redesigns and a large investment. 15 years of prototype eventually led to the field testing of the first combat power armor, the Nighthawk Mark 11, in 2718. The Nighthawk proved itself in 2 additional years of field testing and secretly entered service within the Star League's Special Armed Services, known as the Blackhearts, in 2720. Nighthawk Mark 11s were very effective in their design role. The Mark 11 featured BattleArmor grade stealth armor, providing ample protection from small arms, spotting, and sensors. Electronic countermeasures allowed the detected units to interfere with hostile software within range. Soldiers were deployed with their normal preferred or mission-critical infantry weapon systems. However, generally the Mauser 960 was the weapon of choice. Despite the Nighthawk's success, Power Armor never entered open deployment within the Star League Defense Force. Additionally, Power Armor wasn't initially deployed with fixed weapon system like later iterations would be. The Nighthawk Mark 12 came next, trading the ECM suite for a fixed grenade launcher. However, deployment with the Star League Defense Force was interrupted by the Stefan Amaris coup. Power Armor wouldn't receive any additional developments until Clan Wolf started a project in the mid-29th century. This project was in order to utilize the resource-rich deep seas of Dagada. Clan Goliath Scorpion introduced a titanium-encased exoskeleton, nicknamed the Water Elemental, in 2842. Impressed with their neighbors' new technology, but mindful of their martial capabilities, Wolf scientists had merchants trade 20 years of resource rights to Dagadan ocean enclaves for the technology to produce the exoskeletons. Secretly, Wolf scientists then weaponized the system in order to improve upon Star League-era Nighthawk light power armor. Several types of specialized, mission, and environmental-specific battle armor types were developed, but all-purpose elementals became standard by 2867, and in 2868, elementals first saw combat, with 2 stars of battle armor fighting in a trial of possession against a light star of Clan Nova Cat battle mechs. When the battle armor won in a stunning victory, and forecast a new era in which infantry would once again be able to fight in offensive military actions. Shortly after the Elemental Battle Armor's combat debut, Clan Hell Horse's new Super Soldier became the standard Battle Armor infantry. Clan Wolf's new Elementals attracted the attention of Clan Hell Horses, despite their semi-isolationism early in the Golden Century. While left alone, the horses had developed their own novel breeding protocols and genetic legacies, creating superhuman infantry. With their initial superhuman sebcos just years from the majority, the horses acted swiftly to ensure their infantry would be well equipped. Hellhorse's Khan Eric Amerit preemptively botchaled Clan Wolf's Khan Alexis Ward, intending to use the trial of possession as a means to exchange their technological advances. After a series of counteroffers, the 2 Khans settled on a set of 3 trials, conducted in the northernmost continent of the jointly owned world of Tibur, later in 2868. Clan Wolf won 2 of the 3 trials, while Clan Hell Horses only won a single trial. Both clans were satisfied that they had obtained either elemental bloodlines or the signature battle armor. Unfortunately for both parties, Clan Jade Falcon raided just after the Tibur trials and took both the armor and the elemental phenotypes from Clan Wolf, ultimately resulting in the spread of both technologies. As with the Omnimechs before, subsequent trials of possession over the coveted elemental technology were adjudicated by Ilkhan Xenos Danforth until his death in 2870. Despite the rapid spread of elemental battle armor and elemental warrior phenotypes, the horses enjoyed an advantage for some time, with their first elemental infantry reaching adulthood in 2870. In that same year, Clan Hell horses also pioneered mech-based mechanized battle armor tactics. Relative to other types of infantry, elementals have significantly more armor and firepower, but are only modestly more mobile. Without a significant improvement in mobility or range of weaponry, elementals would be constrained to either offenses in extreme environments or defensive duties on land. Combat vehicles could also provide some much-needed mobility for elementals, but vehicles lack in durability and maneuverability on difficult terrain. Clan Hell Horses scientists provided another solution. As the first elemental Sebcos reached the field in 2870, Clan Hell Horses introduced their first homegrown Omnimech, the Nova. The Nova featured handholds, communication ports, and power outlets for their elemental passengers. Deployed in units also called Novas, the Nova Omnimech could operate in concert with its elementals, a revolutionary change in 29th century infantry combat doctrines. The Nova's innovative mechanized battle armor capacity made it the standard for all Omnimech designs going forward. Battle armor was introduced, or rather reintroduced, to the Inner Sphere by the clans during Operation Revival in 3050. The invading clans used elementals in their attacks, which confounded the Inner Sphere defenders and caused great damage. In response, the Inner Sphere's military industry attempted to reverse engineer the technology. Fortunately for the Inner Sphere, their military-industrial complexes had several factors in favor of quickly bridging this steep technological gap. Comstar's access to Terran records, though largely purged before Alexander Kerensky's exodus, hinted at a secret Nighthawk power armor, used sparingly in special operations. Inspired, Comstar attempted to replicate the Nighthawk power armor in secret early in the 30th century, well before the clan invasion. Based on limited remaining data, their efforts produced the Tornado power armor and lowered the learning curve for future post-invasion attempts. Additionally, the Inner Sphere was able to rapidly kickstart battle armor production due to their riches in resources like raw materials, laborers, and capable design teams. The numerous inhabitants of the Inner Sphere also provided enough soldiers of sufficient physical stature without the clan's elemental breeding and birthing protocols. Inner Sphere battle armor deployment was mainly limited to a number of trained soldiers, promoting commanders to reserve battle armor for special operations. Huge efforts were made to hasten battle armor development. The first examples of Inner Sphere battle armor were successfully developed within just 1 year of the beginning of the clan invasion. 2 designs from the Federated Commonwealth, aided by the efforts of the new Avalon Institute of Science, deployed simultaneously in 3050, the Sun's Infiltrator Mark I and the Lyrian Sloth battle armors. Salvage and capture of clan elementals also led to the Inner Sphere tech clones, better known as the Inner Sphere Standard. Oddly, despite small differences, Inner Sphere Standard battle armor developed throughout the Inner Sphere were functionally identical, perhaps due to rampant corporate espionage during the desperate years of Operation Revival. Precursors to the Inner Sphere Standard battle armor were ready for the Battle of Lutheran in 3051, and further refinement improved performance in time for the comm guards to deploy for the Battle of Tukiad in 3052. With the surplus of materials in a short window of time available after the Truce of Tukiad, Inner Sphere armies began producing great quantities of battle armor. Though Cavalier and Raiden battle armor changed the look of Inner Sphere Standard battle armor, their changes were cosmetic. However, drastic changes to battle armor roles and capabilities soon became common. Battle armor production soon outstripped demand, due primarily to a lack of trained personnel. This resulted in armies reserving their precious soldiers for missions away from the main battle, changing the role of battle armor entirely. Perhaps inspired by the Infiltrator Mark I's small sensor profile and ease of infiltration, or the Sloth's firepower and mines, designers throughout the Inner Sphere revisited the capabilities of their new battle armor for roles like reconnaissance, minefield preparation, spotting, headhunting, or inexpensive static defense. Enhancing alternative battlefield roles became a priority. and a BattleArmor weapons race began, with each new battle suit soliciting their own rival counter development. The success of the newer varieties of Inner Sphere BattleArmor even promoted some homeworld clans to put aside nearly 2 centuries of complacency and begin a crash course developing their own specialized BattleArmor. By mid-3062, each great house and several clans, even some of the mercenaries, had adapted BattleArmor to a variety of diverse mission profiles. For the second half of this video, I'm going to go over the BattleArmor designs that were implemented prior to the Jihad. One of the less commonly known BattleArmor types is the Gnome BattleArmor. It's a heavy assault battle unit manufactured by the clan Hellhorses. Unlike most of the clans, the Hellhorses have long relied on infantry and conventional vehicles as much as mechs on the battlefield. In their own words, the worth of a warrior lies in his own heart, not in his machine. Contrary to the expectations of the other clans, this emphasis on armored troops and vehicles has not appreciably lessened the effectiveness of their fighting forces. Indeed, the horses' failure to win a place in the initial Inner Sphere invasion force had more to do with their large number of wardens among them than with their fighting ability of the clan. Hell's horses began developing the Gnome in 3054, shortly after the clans began receiving reports of an Inner Sphere effort to develop assault battle armor to counter the standard elemental battle armor used by all the clans for the previous century. Aware that any successful Inner Sphere assault battle armor could threaten the clan's edge in battle armored troops, Clan Hellhorses immediately set up a program to study the feasibility of such a concept. Citing prototypes of pre-elemental battle armor, the clan scientists demonstrated that assault battle armor was indeed possible, and that prompted Con Maliva Fletcher to authorize the design of assault battle armor using clan technology. The new armor Fletcher insisted would have to retain the mobility of traditional clan battle armor while incorporating increased firepower and the capability to withstand all but the most powerful weaponry. Hell's Horses engineers based the new design off of an earlier pre-elemental armor suit called the Rhino. A massive assault suit, the Rhino was one of several variant battle armor designs that the Hellhorses had been refining for several years. Incorporating the latest advances in metallurgy, electronics, and Myomer technologies, the Hellhorses engineers managed to overcome many of the problems associated with the earlier versions of the Rhino and created a new design, the Gnome. The Gnome's armor incorporated the latest technologies in small-scale ferrofibrous armor design and can withstand 2 strikes from clan medium lasers. Its main armament is an extended-range small laser in the right arm, with a fully articulated claw on the left arm. In addition, the suit features a permanently attached Streak SRM-2 launcher for greater range and accuracy than those afforded by the detachable launcher. The first Gnomes entered service in the Alpha Kessik of Clan Hellhorses in the spring of 3056. The Gnome-equipped troops wreaked havoc with the conventional suit troops used by the Omega Kessik during the annual sparring between the two Kessiks. Though the battle was only a simulation, Con Fletcher was sufficiently impressed by the new armor's capabilities to order an immediate increase in production. Inspired by Clan Hellhorse's Gnome battle armor design, Clan Fire Mandrill scientists based their new project off of an early elemental suit designed for urban warfare, with the goal of the project being to develop a battle armor capable of shutting down and disabling enemy mechs using anti-mech swarm tactics. The results of their efforts created the Salamander power armor. The Salamander has a menacing look and weaponry that will break the morale of virtually all infantry troops that would stand in its way. Fighting in tandem with Omnimechs, a group of Salamanders can be highly effective against infantry and can shut down enemy mechs in a short amount of time. The Salamander has 2 mech-scale flamethrowers as its main armaments, along with a pair of powerful claws in the hands as well as gripping claws in the feet to aid in the Salamander's grip on an enemy mech. This suit also has a single Inferno SRM mounted over its shoulder in an insulated launch tube, which can be devastating if timed correctly. To make such a suit, concessions had to be made in its armor to keep its speed unhindered. In spite of this, though, the Salamander's armor is impervious to fire and flamer attacks, a vital safety precaution considering the Salamander's weapons. The development of the Salamander was slow due to how ambitious the project was and the constant infighting within the clan Fire Mandrill. After its successful field testing in 3058, the design has been deployed by nearly every fire mandrill cluster. Next in our list of modified elemental battle armor is the Sliff. The Sliff battle armor design was created by Clan Cloud Cobra. Despite its small size, the clan is a potent foe. Some might discount the Cobras based on their deeply religious fervor, but these warrior priests have never shied away from a fight. Unlike most of the other clans, the Cloud Cobras have traditionally made significant use of their aerospace assets. They are considered moderate wardens, with their warriors almost evenly divided between the Warden and Crusader philosophies. Clan Cobra has always had an affinity for aerospace weapons, as illustrated by its strong aerospace manufacturing. This affinity inspired Clan Cloud Cobra scientists to create a fully airborne combat suit. Though the final production model of the Sliff possesses only limited flight capabilities, it is nonetheless an impressive design. The Sliff achieves flight by means of advanced propulsion system adapted from standard battle armor jump jets. Computer controls divert portions of the jet's main thrust through dozens of directional exhaust ports to obtain stable flight as well as complete VTOL capability. The result is an incredibly agile unit that is the swiftest battle armor designed to date. To make the suit light enough for sustained flight, the Sliff designers had to strip away most of the armor found on the heavier battle armor designs. The suit's weapon load is light as well. The Sliff mounts a single micro-pulse laser as its main armament, backed up by a relatively primitive micro-cluster bomb rack attached to the suit's jump pack. As part of the renaissance within the clans, kicked off by the Gnome battle armor, Clan Goliath Scorpion developed the Undying battle armor, which was specifically designed for underwater warfare. A staunchly devoted Warden clan, Clan Goliath Scorpion seeks to rebuild the once mighty Star League by reassembling its scattered pieces like a jigsaw puzzle. The most devout of these warriors within the clan are a group called the Seekers, modern knight-errants steeped in the honor code of Zilbriggen and charged with hunting artifacts of a bygone age. Many Seekers and other Scorpion warriors seek visionary guidance for this quest by ingesting a potion derived from the venom of the Goliath Scorpion itself. The Undying design is based on an underwater industrial exoskeleton designed by the clan in 2842 to aid in the underwater mining efforts on Dagada. These exoskeletons sported monstrously shaped titanium hulls, large bore drills, and grasping claws. These were the same exoskeletons that were the basis of standard clan battle armor. The necessary modifications to the exoskeleton design proved fairly simple. The most difficult challenge proved to be equipping the design with appropriate weaponry for its mission. The Goliath Scorpion engineers ultimately created an advanced multi-role torpedo missile launcher for the design. To reflect the design's capability to strike from below the surface of water, the engineers christened the new design the Undying after the mythological water creature. The Cavalier battle armor suit is the result of the AFFC's program to create a unique Davian battle armor design. The Cavalier corresponds to the Draconis Combine's Raiden suit. Although both suits are cosmetically unique, their performance capabilities are nearly identical to the capabilities of standard Inner Sphere battle armor. The Cavalier is the product of Victor Steiner Davian's redesign for Davian Pride project, which also led the redesign of traditional Davian mechs such as the Enforcer and the Jaeger mech. Davian designers created hundreds of designs and several dozen prototypes as they balanced aesthetics and the suit's combat worthiness. In the final design, armor plating had been shifted around the suit so that leg armor was enhanced by large plating over the calves and thighs, but the suit's arms and hands lost significant protection. Some within the AFFC expressed the opinion that these aesthetically driven changes had compromised the armor's most important function. Despite this concern, the officers assigned to this project concluded that the benefits balanced the drawbacks and approved of the design. Although the Cavalier's exposed elbow and hand joints made the suit more vulnerable to shrapnel, they also provided the wearer with an increased level of manual dexterity compared to that afforded by standard Inner Sphere battle armor. Furthermore, the program met the goal of creating a unique battle armor suit for the Federated Commonwealth forces, and the Cavalier has already boosted morale in units which have received Cavaliers to replace standard battle armor lost in combat. At the same time, the Raiden battle armor was being developed by House Kurita, based on captured clan battle armor. The stunning success of the Draconis Combine's battle armor development team is due to the overconfidence of a galaxy commander of the clan Smoke Jaguar, who accepted a botchal against the Combine believing that only recruits defended the planet, when in fact they were among the most elite forces the Combine could muster. This mistake cost the clans 4 Omnimechs and 12 elemental suits in addition to their battlefield losses. The acquisition of so many elemental suits in pristine condition gave the Combine a tremendous edge in battle armor development, which it used to great effect when designing the Raiden and the 2 other battle armor variants, the Light Cage and the Heavy Kanazuchi. The Raiden battlesuit represents the Draconis Combine's attempt to duplicate clan battle armor by reverse engineering captured clan elemental armor. Though the Federated Commonwealth won the race to be the first inner sphere power with its own battle armor designs, the Raiden's performance is noticeably superior to that of comparable Commonwealth designs. The first Raiden battle armor suit was presented to the coordinator in June of 3052. It displayed adequate speed, including jump capability, features that early FedCom battlesuits lacked. Perhaps more importantly, Raiden-equipped warriors could withstand a medium laser fire and some missile strikes, demonstrating far better armor protection than that of the Infiltrator or Sloth prototypes. Initially, the Raiden incorporated a small laser in the right arm and a single-shot SRM launcher on the left shoulder. Despite these capabilities, the suit did not satisfy the coordinator, who directed the Draconis Combine military service designers to modify the Raiden so that it could protect a trooper against a large laser hit. Just 9 months later, the modified Raiden was ready. Removing the SRM launcher, the new prototype mounted enough armor to withstand the full force of a large laser hit and still move at reasonable speed. The research director, fully trusting in his creation but lacking the strength or training to properly control the suit, dutifully obeyed the coordinator and personally conducted the new prototype's testing. It is a testament to the quality of his work that a 70-year-old scientist suffered only 5 broken bones and a month in the hospital after a direct hit from a BattleMech large laser. With the stunning success of the Raiden battlesuit, the Cage Light Battle Armor was developed with advice from veterans of the Draconis Elite Strike Teams. The Cage is intended to replace the venerable Draconis Elite Strike Team infiltration suit on scouting missions deep in hostile territory, particularly when numerous and well-armed opposition is expected. Draconis Elite Strike Teams have long relied on their infamous infiltration suit, a remarkable combination of personal armor and stealth systems exclusively issued to the Draconis Combine's most elite agents. Initiated at the direction of Draconis High Command, the Cage battle armor design represents an attempt to create a weapon that incorporates the capability of the Draconis Elite Strike Team's infiltration suit and the power and versatility provided by battle armor technology. The initial work on the Cage proved discouraging. Working from a Raiden prototype, the Kurita engineers first experimented with jump configurations to meet the jump capability specifications for the new design. Draconis commanders had specified that the new battle armor possess a jump capability exceeding that of most battle mechs. The resulting prototype's volatile flight characteristics resulted in more than one test pilot's death, as the suit had a tendency to spin out of control and strike the ground at high speeds. Eventually, the designers overcame this obstacle by fitting the suit with a partial wing configuration and stabilizing fins. Combined with refined jump jet controls, these control surfaces provide the Cage with a jump capability exceeded only by that of Clan Cloud Cobra's Sliff battle armor. When the unit is not jumping, the fins retract to reduce the battle armor's visibility and radar signature. But the suit's impressive mobility is supplemented by the stealth system based on that used in the Draconis Elite Strike Team infiltration suit. Although complete implementation of the suit's systems took nearly 4 years, the Cage possesses ample speed and stealth for its intended missions. Like most other reconnaissance designs, the Cage carries little in the way of offensive capabilities. Standard Cage arsenal consists of a single anti-personnel weapon, mounted on the forearm for free hands operation. Typically, one trooper in every cage squad is designated as a support element and equipped with a support weapon in place of a standard anti-personnel weapon. If a cage squad is attached to a force equipped with Arrow 4 launchers, the cage support element often carries a compact tag spotting laser in place of a heavy weapon. Although the cage design was nimble, the Kanazuchi took power armor in an entirely different direction. Originally dubbed the Komodo, development of the BattleArmor design progressed smoothly until the summer of 3054, when Dracona's High Command displayed its lack of faith in the project by severely reducing its budget. Only the hard work and dedication of the project scientists, many of whom worked for little or no pay, enabled the design to reach the prototype stage. Early trials of the prototype went poorly, loaded with more than a ton of armor plating and a massive arsenal that included an arm-mounted medium laser, 2 arm-mounted small lasers, 2 torso-mounted SRM-2 racks, and a torso-mounted anti-infantry flamer, in addition to a torso-mounted submachine gun. The Komodo nearly proved immobile, unable to turn quickly enough to effectively use its weapons. The prototype was little more than an easy target. Additionally, the suit proved difficult and exhausting to control. On more than one occasion, the Komodo test pilots suffered serious injuries from feedback or excessive torque. As a result of its poor performance, the Dracona's Combine military service nearly killed the project once again. After extensive redesign work, a second Komodo prototype made its debut when a volunteer lab assistant took the battlesuit out on the proving grounds before Theodore Kurita and the High Command. This time, the ungainly machine performed so well that the High Command immediately tripled the project's funding to accelerate final design work on the Komodo. After a bit more refinement, the design entered production under the name Kanazuchi, or Hammer. The name Komodo had been assigned to a popular battle mech design during the development of the BattleArmor. The squat, thick Kanazuchi features large, stumpy legs, thick arms, and a forward-leaning head that contains a cockpit-like section where the pilot sits. The Kanazuchi's arsenal consists of twin back-mounted SRM-2 launchers, a mech-sized medium laser, and a pair of pod-mounted secondary anti-infantry weapons. The design also features an impressive amount of armor. During the Kanazuchi's final field demonstration, the Dracona's Combine produced a captured clan Madcat that unleashed a PPC blast directly at the battlesuit. Though the blast virtually destroyed the powered armor, the pilot inside survived the hit relatively unhurt and even managed to return 2 medium laser bursts, much to the delight of the assembled observers. Meanwhile, in Cavalier space, scientists were working hard on developing a new battlesuit based off of the Inner Sphere BattleArmor, the Fa-Shi, or Master of Methods, as I will call it. The development of the Master of Methods required years of work and some help from the Word of Blake to finalize its design. The final prototype of the Master of Methods was completed in 3060. The design is a medium battle armor capable of anti-mech or anti-personnel operations. The Master of Methods sensors and communication systems are configured to allow the integrated use of the new light tag spotting laser. The design can be configured with any of the standard anti-mech weapons such as small lasers, flamers, or machine guns. But the Master of Methods' most unique feature is its mine-laying and mine-detaching capabilities. The Cavalier Confederation embraces the tactical use of mines, unlike most other nations that decry the use of mines as inhumane, honorless, or both. The design is equipped with a compact system to deploy field artillery scatterable mines. To use the system, the Master of Methods trooper uses the suit's jump jets to hover directly over the area in which to be mined, then detaches a canister from the suit's back. When the canister reaches the correct altitude, it explodes, scattering dozens of grenade-sized mines over the targeted area. The mines are sent downward with enough force to conceal them a few centimeters underground. A few seconds after the mines are scattered, the explosives within are activated and the minefield is placed. The whole process takes less than 5 seconds and covers an area of more than 300 square meters. The Master of Methods' second canister can be used to mine a second area or expand the size of the first minefield. To complement this ability, the Master of Methods also features advanced retractable electronic probes and metal detectors that allow it to clear minefields quickly and effectively. A second unique feature of the Master of Methods are special magnetic clamps located on the knees and underarms. The clamps allow the Master of Methods trooper to mount to a standard battle mech and vehicle, in the same way that other battle armors mount to omni-mechs. This feature was born out of necessity, mostly because the Cavalier Confederation only fields one omni-mech design, the Men-Shin. The Master of Methods armor was molded according to classic Chinese aesthetics, keeping with the Cavalier Confederation's rebirth movement. The Cavaliers were not the only ones to request the Word of Blake's assistance in developing battle armor. Much like the Cavalier Confederation, the Free Worlds League was in dire need of new battle armor designs, and the Word of Blake was more than happy to abide. This created the Achilles light battle armor. The Achilles was developed in response to the Federated Commonwealth's innovative but fatally flawed Infiltrator battle armor design. The team's goal was to design a mass-manufactured light battle armor suit that combined a full-sized arsenal with a comprehensive electronic stealth system. Using the Word of Blake's Tornado power armor as a main component in their research teams spent long months redesigning the suit's stealth systems to accommodate additional armor and weaponry, while maintaining its low electronic magnetic signature. Unlike the Tornado, the Achilles features armor composite sheaths to contain and protect its layers of myomer musculature. The Achilles also features integral mounts for jump jets and a gyro-stabilized gun mount in the right arm. These features add vital protection, mobility, and firepower, but make it increasingly difficult to effectively mask the suit's presence on the battlefield. Success was ultimately achieved based on data intercepted by Word of Blake ROM. Reportedly, the data was being transmitted from the NAIS to Defiance Industries. Although this had yet to be confirmed, the data provided a new formula for composite armor. Using this formula, designers were able to provide the Achilles with the armor protection standard set by the FWLM. The resulting prototype proved to be one of the most effective battle armor designs yet produced in the Inner Sphere. In addition to a right arm mounted support class weapon, the Achilles mounts a single anti-personnel weapon, usually a submachine gun, on the left arm just above the wrist. Both the suit's arms end in fully functional manipulator hands. These provide the wearer with a greater degree of dexterity when lifting and manipulating equipment than that offered by standard battle armor suits. This feature reduces the amount of armor the suit can carry, thus reducing the design's effectiveness in melee combat. However, the extra dexterity can be useful during infiltration and scouting missions. After the success of the Achilles, the Free Worlds League continued their joint research with the Word of Blake. That research produced the Longinus, which was the Free Worlds' attempt to replicate Clan's standard elemental battle armor. The Longinus is an impressive design, though the development of the battle armor proceeded much slower than the development of the battle armor created by the Federated Commonwealth and the Draconis Combine. Unlike its competitors, though, the Longinus features a version of Clan Elemental's signature SRM launcher. 18 months after initial research began, the prototype Longinus began trials on Atreus. Despite high expectations, these trials proved disastrous. Armor composites shattered under test firing, and the suit's power systems failed without warning. Eventually, these problems were traced to a Comstar sympathizer on the design staff. After some in-house cleaning and some staffing changes, the minor design revisions, and a second prototype, just 3 months later, the Longinus passed these trials, but had a long way to go. Still not satisfied with pale duplicates of Clan battle armor being developed by the other successor states, the League wanted its battle armor suit to be the equal of Clan battle armor in every way. But even with the technical assistance provided by the Word of Blake, League designers found the road longer and more difficult than they had anticipated. Ultimately, the inclusion of the backpack-mounted SRM launcher proved to be the main obstacle in meeting the ambitious design goal. Every attempt to combine full jump capability with the launcher met with failure. A myriad of configurations were tried, but each time the prototype would become too heavy to maneuver effectively on the ground or too ungainly to control in mid-jump. Finally, designers reached a compromise solution. The final Longinus incorporated SRM launchers similar to that of the Clan launcher, but with an internal safety mechanism to prevent the wearer from engaging the jump jets until the missiles were used, and the launcher was jettisoned. Despite this breakthrough, the launcher only carries a single pair of missiles because the Longinus lacks adequate space to supply reloads like the Clan suit. The Longinus was fitted with sophisticated armor composites, near-perfect copies of Clan BattleArmor composites, capable of stopping a large laser or a small-caliber autocannon hit. However, the new armor required new manufacturing processes, which dramatically drove up the cost of manufacturing the BattleArmor. The development cost of other Longinus components also exceeded budget, and took excessive amounts of manpower away from other vital projects. These factors caused the LCCC to balk at continuing the project until Captain General Thomas Merrick himself authorized additional funding to the project. The first Longinus suits entered service within the FWLM in December 3057. Now in thin deployment throughout the League, the Longinus is widely regarded as the best battle armor produced by the Inner Sphere. Though it would seem that the Word of Blake was benevolent in their assistance with battle armor development to the great houses, they saved the most devastating battle armor design for themselves, the Purifier Adaptive Battle Armor. At the time of the Word of Blake invasion of Terra in 3058, Comstar scientists at the Sandhurst Royal Military College were working on an infantry uniform that used mimetic color shifting technology. Comstar believed that this research was destroyed when the Word of Blake overran the college. Despite the valiant efforts of the Sandhurst Training Regiment, Comstar believed that the technology had been lost until August of 3061, when the Word of Blake militia unveiled a new battle armor prototype that incorporated that mimetic technology. Word of Blake engineers had learned a great deal about battle armor construction and development during their joint effort with the Free Worlds League military to produce the Achilles light battle armor, and much of that knowledge is reflected in the Purifier. Like the Achilles, the Purifier features armor composite sheaths laid over a myomer musculature. Unlike the Achilles, the Purifier contains dozens of microcameras tied to a central processing unit buried in the upper back of the chest plate. These microcameras continually feed images of the surrounding environment to the computer, which then sends electrical impulses to a chemical composite impregnated in the Purifier's armor sheaths. These impulses control the color of the chemical composite. As the battle armor moves, the computer processor receives feed from the microcameras and manipulates the flow of current to each part of the suit, so that each section changes color to blend in to the surrounding terrain. Although the system can shift the Purifier's color quite rapidly, the speed is limited so that the processor cannot properly camouflage the unit if the surrounding terrain changes too quickly or often. This has no effect when the Purifier is moving at slower speeds, but if the battle armor moves at its maximum speed, the mimetic effect actually makes it easier to spot, as the rapidly shifting colors make the Purifier stand out rather than blend in. Regardless of this drawback, the mimetic adaptation was deemed a critical success. Once the armor had been perfected, the Word of Blake tested several different weapon systems for use with the Purifier. Trading on their close ties to the Free Worlds League, the Word of Blake secured shipments of the League's new extended-range small laser for inclusion in the Purifier. To take advantage of their access to the League's new long-range missile submunitions, the Purifier designers constructed the battle armor with the capability to accommodate a compact tag system. This system has proved very effective when used in tandem with the Free Worlds League new semi-guided long-range missiles. Word of Blake engineers further improved the design's targeting capabilities by producing a compact NARC missile beacon to mount on the new battle armor. This addition makes the Purifier a powerful missile spotter, though the bulky Narc unit does limit the suit's mobility until the beacon is fired and the launcher is discarded. As the Free Worlds League was working with the Word of Blake to develop their power armor, the Federated Commonwealth was developing the Infiltrator Mark I. The Infiltrator Mark I is a battlesuit designed with light reconnaissance in mind, fitted with some of the most advanced stealth technology available at the time of its creation. This remarkable design was based on clan technology acquired during operations by the first Somerset Strikers, as well as prototype battle armor research being conducted at the New Avalon Institute of Science. Although much of the technology required to construct the light reconnaissance unit had existed for some time before its development, it took the clan invasion to make tactical planners appreciate the advantages of fielding such a complicated, well-integrated system in such a small package. Designed for tactical scouting missions in heavily monitored enemy environments, the Infiltrator carries a sophisticated array of stealth systems that provide it with remarkable abilities to avoid detection, as well as sensitive intelligence-gathering devices. Using the Infiltrator's advanced radar and infrared suppression systems, Infiltrator troops can disguise their radar and heat signatures with great effect and slip into enemy areas. Like most other reconnaissance designs, the Infiltrator carries little in the way of offensive armaments and armor. Its single grenade launcher can only provide generalized defensive fire, and its relatively weak armor is designed to withstand small arms fire only. The Infiltrator Mark I notes an important milestone in the development of the Inner Sphere battle armor. Despite being outclassed by other battle armors, the suit is often found on many battlefields. Thousands of Infiltrator suits were deployed across the Federated Commonwealth just before the succession of the Lyrian Alliance in 3057. The Mark II Infiltrator, dubbed the Puma, surpassed the Mark I in several ways. Faster, better armor, and far more agile than the Mark I, the Puma included an integral jump pack, increased stealth capacities, and electronic countermeasures. The breakthrough for this technology came from the Grey Death Legion in 3057, due to their possession of several Mark 21 Nighthawk suits they obtained from a Star League vault. Grayson Carlyle had no choice but to comply with the Archon Prince's request for the suits, and by August they were in tow to the New Avalon Institute of Science, where engineers systematically dismantled them and analyzed their components. Though the Nighthawk suits were destroyed in the process, this provided the invaluable data required to renovate and innovate the Infiltrator. Designed with a more direct combat role in mind than its predecessor, the Mark II is fitted with two fully functional hands, though one of the hands must be encased within a hardpoint when the Mark II Infiltrator is fitted with a support class weapon. Although originally intended to mount the usual assortment of anti-mech weaponry, the success of the mag-shot Gauss rifle, specifically designed for the Mark II, prompted the designers to include the new weapon as a standard issue on all Mark II suits. The mag-shot Gauss provides the Mark II Infiltrator troopers with a sniping weapon superior to any other on the battlefield. With the Lyrian Rebellion, several innovations were developed. One of these was the Fenrir Assault Battle Armor. When Archon Catherine ordered Lyrian designers to develop new battle armor shortly after assuming the throne, she hoped the new designs would close the gap between the battle armor capabilities of the Lyrian Alliance and its rival powers, as well as underscore her realm's independence of the Federated Commonwealth. The Lyrian designers based the Fenrir design off of New Avalon Institute of Science designed Sloth battle armor. Using the same sturdy quad configuration as the Sloth, the Fenrir also boasts a large weapons array. The Fenrir was primarily designed as a highly mobile weapons platform rather than a true battle armor suit, and is controlled from a cramped cockpit. The suit features a heavy-duty hardpoint that swivels so that weapons can be fired in nearly a 360-degree arc. The Fenrir can be fitted with any of the following weapon configurations: 3 small lasers or machine guns, 2 small pulse lasers, a 4-tube SRM launcher, or a single medium pulse. Unfortunately, accommodating the weight of the swiveling mount and weapons array, forced the designers to skimp somewhat on the armor design. Consequently, the Fenrir carries relatively light armor. The Fenrir's sturdy legs give it considerable speed. However, designers concluded the light armor was an acceptable concession to any other. Typically, Fenrir troopers use hit-and-run tactics and try to use the design's superior firepower to overwhelm opponents before they can take advantage of the suit's weaknesses. Not all innovations were done within solely the clans or the great houses. Some innovations were done by mercenaries and field technicians. Two of the best examples of this, the Grey Death BattleArmor and the Grey Death Light Scout Armor. The Grey Death Legion were among the first Inner Sphere mercenaries to acquire battle armor, and by late 3051, the Legion engineers had created two distinct versions of battle armor. The Scout suit was created by stripping away half the armor protection and integral weaponry of a standard battle armor and adding a jump pack and a complex sensor array. The engineers also replaced the suit's mechanical claws with fully articulated armored gloves that enabled the wearer to use any desired infantry weapons and equipment. This dexterity also aids the trooper in making effective anti-mech attacks by facilitating accurate placements of explosive charges on a battle mech. In the years following the Truce of Tukid, the Legion's scout armor continued to prove its worth in repeated engagements against a variety of foes. The Grey Death Legion manufactures a limited amount of the suits by hand on Glengarry, mainly to replace their own losses in combat. A handful of these suits have been sold to other mercenary outfits, as well as the Lyrian armed forces. However, no other unit uses them as effectively as the Legion. Like the Grey Death Light Scout suit, the Grey Death standard battle armor design was created after the New Avalon Institute of Science had supplied the Legion with battle armor prototypes for field testing, shortly after the clan invasion. Responding to the assessment of Legion troops, the Legion engineers enhanced the capabilities of the supplied battle armor by adding an anti-personnel weapon for use in infantry support operations, as well as an enhanced sensor suite. The Legion battle armor made its debut against the Jade Falcons on the world of Pandora. Fighting in thick jungles, the armor proved decisive in the Legion's victory over the clan. That will conclude my video on power armor. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope to see you on the battlefield.